สวัสดีค่ะ
Sawadee and good evening to Thailand.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight, Dr. Alexander.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me on your program.
Right. First question, how serious is the Royal Thai aircraft being seized and how could it impact the Thai-German bilateral relationship?
Well, traditionally, the German-Thai economic and political relations are very strong, and therefore there is no direct impact on the economic ties. However, of course, the seizure of the plane is a symbolic act, and therefore I think it causes irritations for the relations, which one should not underestimate. There is a certain damage done due to the symbolic of the seizure of the plane.
Right.
But in the long run, I strongly believe that the Thai-German relations are strong enough to continue as they did in the past.
Now, that's being said, how can this situation, in your opinion, be resolved amicably with the two countries in order to move forward together?
Well, that's a very difficult question. The legal obligations are actually quite clear. The court in Geneva actually said that Thailand is obliged to pay around 30 million euros to the German company. However, I think in the current context, there's an interest from both sides to actually resolve the issue quite quickly. And therefore, I think there are already signs to ease the situation and to find a solution which would enable both sides to move on. As far as I know, the insolvency administrator already is prepared to cut a deal. He is quite open to negotiations, and I'm sure in this week the negotiations will continue and trying to solve the issue.
Right. Now, since the aircraft belongs to the royal property, not the Thai military, do you think that this is a mistake for the German side to confiscate it?
Let me say it this way. At the moment, it seems like there are certain kind of legal question marks behind the ownership of the plane. If the plane does belong to the royal family, then I think it is a mistake from the German side, and it should be resolved quite quickly. As far as I'm informed, the Thai authorities are already preparing documentation which actually proves that the plane belongs to the royal family.
Right. Now, in your opinion, assuming if the Thai side wins, do you think that it is possible that the Thai to claim compensation for the damage and perhaps? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Short answer, yes. I can only advise in this case, if this is the case, to claim compensation on this. The administrator is liable for the situation, and therefore there is a supervision's legal liability on this case, and therefore I would only recommend to go.
What about to file a lawsuit against for such incident?
Well, that would be a compensation for damages caused, and therefore, yes, from what I know at the moment, and under the circumstances that the plane belongs to the royal family, I think there are good chances for a legal dispute on this issue.
I see. Thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you very much.
สวัสดีค่ะ